Greetings, everyone. Hope you are having a great weekend. I am back after a short break. Today, I have a quick video on the variations of mine formations. I found a decent opponent that I really struggled beating, and believe it or not, I had to waste 3 attempts in order to win. So I thought I'd take this opportunity to kind of share some of my mistakes and walk through some of those fleets and the pros and cons. So this is the opponent from 281. First of all, congratulations for having a great defense. Let's go over the stats. So if you look at the stats, long range attack is almost 500. Pretty good reduced damage from troops at 38.2%, and decent increased damage to troops for 28.8%. Let's compare that to mine. So you can clearly see right off the bat, I have over 100 LRA advantage. I have about a 12% advantage in increased damage, but I have about a 13% disadvantage in reduced damage. So fairly even stats if you consider the fact that overall total units is about 9k higher. So even stats, and also one more detail, Titan levels seem to be blue based on the skills on the video replay. So let's take a look at my first fail. So this formation actually works pretty well for me, except here. So you can see that she has a pretty decent base, decent amount of cannons, decent amount of laser, and then the snipers. You can see here everything is looking so far good for me, except what happens here. So what happens there is that even though my snipers were in good position, there is the logic in the game that based on the range made the snipers move forward, and that was the beginning of the end. So that ended fairly poorly with a sizable victory of over almost 100k snipers surviving. Let's take my second attempt. So then I thought, okay, I just need to make sure my snipers don't move up. So let's take a peek and see what I did next. So here I adjusted it by saying, okay, maybe if I add more shredders in the front here, I added 6k shredders, kept the snipers and cannons, added, reduced the number of lasers, and reduced the number of snipers and increased shredders. What the problem with the shredder formation is I just don't have enough melee HP for it to work. The shredder formation with heavy shredders really works if they reach the snipers. If they don't reach the back row and they're still stuck on hitting the zombies, you're not going to win. So let's watch that one more time. You can see here, one of the problems you'll notice here is that my snipers are actually targeting the shielders here on the right. So that wasted, the fact that the snipers targeted the shielders wasted a hit and really gave me another disadvantage. And here you can see already she has the upper hand. And so this is slightly better than the one that I had, but it's still going to be a sizable defeat with almost 70k snipers surviving. So finally I said, okay, is now the time to give up? I did not, so I wanted to try just for sake of research. I tried one more thing, and this time I said, okay, let's try to keep the snipers in the back and add some rockets to take away those 1 units and try as a final time. So finally I did succeed. Let's take a look. So here in the formation, I added about 20k rockets and added a bunch of, not a bunch, but added some more cannons. The reason is to give my snipers one more shot in case things go bad. So adding the rockets, what that did is it basically rockets targeted the single units that the snipers were targeting. So here now you can see the tide has turned, and now I have a sizable victory. What I wanted to demonstrate with this is that, for any particular opponent that is fairly evenly matched, or in this case, slightly worse off than me stat-wise, I finally found the combination to win. Let's watch that one more time. Pay attention to the rockets. What the rockets does is it targets the energy troopers, it targets the bikes, and it targets, more importantly, that shielder, because the rockets target those back row units. What that did is allowed my snipers quickly to kill his rockets and then his cannons, and then, while his snipers were busy with my rockets, I finally was able to tear down his snipers. So in this case, this formation worked. Always always work, for different formations. I just wanted to demonstrate that, if you know your opponent's formation, you can find something just like a chess opening, to counter it. Now, of course, most of the time when you're hitting a mine, you're going into it blind and not knowing what the opponent has. Just a few more tips that I'm going to share is that, I find that leaving off the shielder helps in some of the targeting and preventing the snipers moving up. It always doesn't work, as you can saw. It sometimes will waste one of the hits of the snipers. I've found that unless your shredders, or now they're called wasteland kings, if they don't go past the zombies, it's really not worth it, because they take a lot of your fleet power, fleet population, and if they don't actually reach that back row, you're going to suffer. So if you don't have a really high melee HP, don't opt with the heavy shredder front. My stats are pretty mediocre in terms of melee, so I really have that glass cannon build. That's it for the quick video today. I wanted to show that, and congratulations to Knack of 281 for having a great defense and making me really struggle. Take care, guys. Have a good one.